So I have done one video of feeding these little guys, but I want to reiterate how absolutely imperative it really is for them that you find a licensed rehabber or someone who has the proper supplies to take care of them, because you cannot get these tubes, their formula, or anything else in a shorter time frame than 3 to 5 business days, and that's if you pay for expedited shipping. This tube took me almost 2 weeks to get it. So obviously I keep a lot of them on hand. Just this one tube is $14.95. They do have larger tubes. This one is a specialty tube for smaller babies. I actually have one that is a little smaller than this. It's a 1.8 FR. It's a whole lot harder to work with because it is barely considered a tube. It is so small and so thin and so very hard to thread, but it is required when we are nursing smaller babies. At the end of the day, these babies are already several weeks old at this size. When possums are born, they are born with no legs or no back legs. They do have front feet. It's what they use to transition from the birth to the pouch where their mother feeds them and houses them for the first several weeks of their life. But they are very fragile. What I didn't show in the other video is how I carefully take them out of the towel. Sometimes they grab on and you have to kind of work with their little hands and wiggle them. I also keep a bowl of warm water with the wipes in it to keep the wipe warm, because that's the best way to get them to potty. I'm trying to remember all the things I did not tell you in the last video. There are formulas that you can make at home with items you can pick up at your local stores. I have found them to be far more expensive than the Fox Valley, but in a, again, dire situation, you can get the Aciblic puppy formula from Tractor Supply, not Walmart. The one from Walmart does not have the nutritional value that the Aciblic has. I don't even use it when I'm nursing baby puppies. That one works for these guys. If that's all you had in a one-day situation, it would not kill them. But you would definitely want to get the stuff that you need, egg yolks and lots of other items. I'll try to get the recipe and post it with the video instead of trying to tell you what it is on here. We don't have enough rehabbers in the world, and we need more of them. And I'm hoping by doing these videos and showing people that it's difficult, but it's not that difficult, maybe more people will be interested in trying to help these little guys survive. There's a lot of myths about these little fellas. A lot of ranchers don't like them because of the EPM, which is really not possums. It's usually your barn cats. Just saying. Make sure you vaccinate your cats. But they are some of the most precious and the sweetest little things that you will ever encounter in your life. The number one goal of a rehabber is to release them into the wild So we do not try to get attached. We do not try to keep them tame. In the early stages, we have to handle them a lot. Their becoming wild happens when we transition them to the outside. I'm going to go wash my hands. I'm going to pause this, wash my hands, and just really quickly show you a possum that's a little bit bigger from another litter. All right, I'm back. These are some that I got the other day. They're a little bit bigger. These guys are starting to eat on their own. They're drinking formula out of a dish. As you can see, I don't know if you can see this very good on the video, but I want to show you. You can see their tail. You can see the little rings on it. He's starting to rehydrate from when he came in. Pause this and show. There are 9 of the little ones that I have. I know not everyone is blessed with the best setup, neither am I. This is a bedroom in my house. It's still a work in progress. It has a lot of things that need to come out of here this year. It didn't work last year, and I'm not keeping them this year. This is probably the best thing that I ever put in a room. I can quickly do intake and weights, write it down, and put it on their paperwork when I get a free minute. And they don't have to wait for me to fill out a piece of paper for every single one of them when they come in. But that's my second video, and I'm hoping I covered more in that one that I didn't cover in the first one. And like I said, I'm going to continue to do these and probably going to do a YouTube channel with them. I'll upload them on my other social medias, but I think I'm going to upload them to YouTube first, because when people are in a dire situation and they're researching, they're looking online, and YouTube is usually the first place people go. So I'm going to start an educational YouTube for wildlife rehabilitators, because it's not as complicated as some people make it. And I think if we scale down the complication, people would be less afraid. Now, it is extremely expensive, and it's all out of your pocket. That is the number one thing that keeps people from doing this. There's no pay for this. There's no reimbursement. The only thing you get is the satisfaction of watching them be released into the wild after you have worked your tail off keeping them alive for whatever time frame it is that you keep that particular animal. I highly recommend. I can't speak. I recommend being a sub first. Take a year, 2 years, whatever it takes you to be a sub before you jump into a full-blown rehab, because every state is different. There are different state requirements. The state that I am in is quite extensive with what we have to have. So check your state and your local laws. These videos are also for people who live in places that don't allow wildlife rehab, and you are desperately searching for a way to save them by yourself. If you Google Henry's and wildlife together, you'll pull up all the formulas you need.